I hate when the Zoom lady tells us she's recording, but it
She
happens.
needs to tell us.
Yeah, she does. All right, the CEO of Festival Hugs. I got my man here, Manny. Frisky Hug. What's going on, dude?
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
I'm excited to have you on, man. I love the page. I love the page that you have to start off with. It's just full of good vibes and obviously CEO of Hugs, Festival Hugs and stuff. So it's great to have you on. I'm excited. Cheers to
Hell
that.
yeah, man.
We'll do a quick cheers before we
Hell
get
yeah.
started.
Cheers to that, man. Nothing but good vibes.
Oh my goodness. Whoo. Yeah, so let's start with the basics, man. How did you get into, the whole festival scene and how did this evolve from, hey, I'm going to festivals to now I'm vlogging, now I'm posting about them all the time and stuff like that? Because for me, I like in the last year decided like I want to start doing that because I'm going to all these shows and I'm enjoying them. So in my head, I was like, I might as well show off what I'm doing. And even for me, it's been a long road. I'm only in it for a year, but like it's a long process and it's continuously evolved from what it was at the beginning of just festival clips to now trying to vlog. And I'm just curious about your story and how you got to this point.
I mean, and I think like everybody can account to this, or at least a big portion of people is like, I didn't even know the rave scene even existed, you know? And then I find out that there is a rave scene, but it's like more of a club scene type deal. Um, my friend tried to describe a festival to me, you know, and I was like, I don't know what you're saying, right? So he took me to a really small one. And then he's like, "Oh, let me show you like a bigger one." And he just kept he climbed me up the right way, right? Like a friend should. You should never just throw yourself into this huge like 16 stage festival ever.
Yeah,
So
right.
I feel like
I
I had the right friends. They like they let me climb the ladder and stuff. And at first it was all about partying and getting fucked up, and it wasn't even about the music. I will not lie to you. It was not about the music at all.
Better you than most. Most will admit that.
You know, but to my friends it was all about the music, all about, you know, all about, they were at that like the musical stage, and it is about the music right now. But like I think one of the first people I saw was like Eric Pritz and like Porter Robinson. Like those were like the first few people I was like listening to, and I had no idea who they were. I mean, back then it was like 10 years ago, so they weren't as big as they are now. But like watching them, I was like, man, this song's really good. I'm really fucked up. Like it's all but like it's all but nothing but like good vibes, and I'm feeling it, right? So it was like as long as I'm fucked up, I'm having a great time. It wasn't until down the road when I started doing more festivals, you start realizing that there is an entire culture of like people and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I started getting enveloped in that culture, and I started to know more of the artists. I started realizing that the more shows I go to, the more artists I'm listening to. Now I want to take that to my Spotify, and you're listening to all this stuff. After a few years, you know, you start realizing that you're kind of going to the same shows over and over again. But what are you getting
Totally.
out of it? You're not getting any, like, yeah, like the music's great and the people are there, but like it started to seem repetitive. And I'm like, you know what? Like I feel like I'm spending a lot of money going to these things. And in order to keep this habit, I need to find some way of like maybe building a network where I could just get in for free, you know? And I was talking to one of my friends at that time, and I was like, you know what? Like, I think I just want to be like somewhere like famous in like the EDM world, and just like I want to get paid to go to a festival. I think that's like it'd be super iconic. I think it'd be super great. I'm like, I have a great personality, just putting myself up, you know, because they weren't doing it for me,
Right, right.
and you know, fucking salty friends, bro.
Sometimes you
Well,
gotta be your own hype man, man.
my friends were like, that'll never happen. Who would ever give you a free festival ticket? Who would ever pay you to go to a festival? I'm like, I think I'm amazing. I have a great personality. I have great wardrobe fashion. I'm like, I have so much to offer to the community, right? And at first, that was my first thoughts. What's like, how can I keep going to the same amount of festivals and not keep breaking my bank, right? I'm like, oh, you know, I'm gonna be something in this community where I can offer something in exchange for like these festival tickets and stuff like that.
Right.
As so after, you know, just years of like building up my platform, building up my personality, and um, just becoming like an icon of some point, um, I started to realize that I wanted more than like getting paid for like brand deals and that kind of stuff. Like that was all nice and dandy, but then I started realizing that like I don't know, I mean something to this community. Like people are taking a lot more than I thought I was giving, and now I wanted to give out more. Right now, I want to give more to the community just because I feel like the community saw something in me that I wasn't seeing in myself, and now I feel like I owe it to the community to give more, right? So like,
What is it that you feel that you need to give more? Because I look at you
yeah,
as someone who's always out there and just happy and cheery and giving off good vibes the entire time, which is what most people just want to be around in general. And not necessarily more than that. So what is it that you think that what's more? Like what more can you do? You know?
you're so sweet.
I mean,
But
for
like,
real, but like that's what it's.
but like I feel like the community gave me validation, and I get tons of DMs from like the like people who I wouldn't expect, just like random people who meet me and stuff, and they give me like long ass paragraphs and essays about how I'm a great person, how like, you know, just pumping me up, like, and being so nice to me and telling me how like when they met me, like it was such a pleasure, and like people like me in the community, they need more, and those nice things, man, validate me and validate what I'm doing for this community, and it makes me want to, I guess, give them more of what they want, which is a nicer, more plur community. They want to have more relationships with other ravers. They want to be they also want to be acknowledged, you know. They also want to be informed of what's going on in the community, you know, and a lot of people rely on influencers and content creators to give them that kind of information, right? So I just want to be able to keep providing that information. I want to be able to keep informing them even more, and like I've been doing a lot of meetups and stuff, and I want to keep doing more meetups. I want to be able to make more families within those communities. And people have been so grateful to me for all the communities that I've already made for people. And it's like those meetups are a lot more than just a bunch of random people meeting up. Like people have formed really great friendships off like the apps I work with, off the companies I work with, and off the meetups that I do. And like it's been just collectively getting bigger. Like what I'm doing is getting bigger, and I've noticed that it's getting bigger, and I want to make it bigger, like more.
Oh,
So
yeah,
greedy. Let's get more.
I mean, as you should want to expand it and make it more. That's one of the few things about like the whole festival world and everything that I've come to love is like the people you do meet. I mean, like there's along the way, along my journey alone. I mean, everyone's got stories, right? But along my journey alone, like there's so many unique people I've met along the way. And there's some even this year. I mean, just getting back in the last 2 months that I met at one festival, and it's like, I'll see you at the next one, right? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna hang at the next one. And we talk a little bit here and there out of festivals itself. Like it's not just about, oh, I'm only gonna see you at a show.
Yeah.
It's more than that, even though we met at the show. And that's something that I think so unique and special about it.
I've made some pretty good friendships. I mean, there was one guy in particular, like me and him are like best friends now, and like he met me off of Emma's video. That festival fashion video that we made with Emma Capotes. He DM'd me. He's like, hey man, like awesome video, this and this. Like I'm also in Colorado. We should go to an event someday. Well, I met him at an event. We took pictures and stuff like that, and then like after that, you know, he asked me to hang out again, and we just like all of a sudden just kept hanging out, and it created like a friendship within us, which is funny that like, you know, Emma Capotes was the culprit for that one, right? Her video, right. Me and her doing that collab with that video, like that helped create a friendship. And that's just, I'm only speaking for myself. I can only imagine the kind of friendships that we involuntarily make and we're not even aware of. I mean, it's insane.
I mean, I have some friends that from college that I had met simply because they were in my class. I was wearing an Millennium shirt one day, and then they were like, "You're into festivals?" And I was like, "You're into festivals." And we just sat, and then we were doing marketing together and working on homework and stuff. But then we hung out more and more, and then it was like, "Oh, well, let's go to a show and let's just go to the bar now." And yeah, I mean, I have one friend, one of my best friends. I was sitting behind him, and it's the middle of our marketing strategy class, and he was looking up Base Canyon tickets. And then at the end of it, I was like, "Are you going to Base Canyon?" He was like, nah, I'm thinking about it." And I was like, "Oh, dude, that'd be crazy to go." I was like, "I'm going to this and this. What are you going to?" He's like, "I'm going to those and those." And I'm like, "You want to hang out sometime?" Like it was that,
yeah,
it was that
do
simple.
it. Let's make it happen.
And that's like why I wear my merch out too. I've been like on this big thing of like people should wear their merch more, because I'm like, that's how you're gonna like. We'll be in the airport and we meet people. Just literally 2 weeks ago, we went to go see Trilogy Set, and I was like, I have to wear my Millennium like something while I'm going to Vegas for this. And sure enough, like on our flight, there were 3 people that were like, "Hey, you're going to the show. You're going to the show."
Yeah, exactly.
We ended up hanging out with them the whole weekend because I just went with like one friend. We were like just sent it, not knowing anybody, and it was like, "You're going?" I was like, "Yeah." "Do you have a group?" "Yeah, we have a group. Why don't you come hang?" Boom, done. We hung out for the whole weekend, and it was like a blast. It's just I love that about the community. That's what I like about it, you know.
Yeah, there are times where you have to as content creators as we are, we have to be careful sometimes because it can get a little overwhelming because we're able to make more friends than the normal amount of people, right? So like me and you can probably end up like collectively hanging out with like 30 people easy at any festival. And it's like that can get overwhelming to plan. And if everybody wants to hang out with you, like everybody wants a piece of you. And it's like, whoa, like you can only offer so much. Which brings up to like a point where like I feel bad sometimes for my friends. So I have to be very careful what kind of friends I choose because they have to be willing to accept the fact that I might go to a festival with them, but never hang out with them because, you know, festivals, as fun as it is, part of it's kind of like a job as well. So it was like, I would feel a certain type of way if I didn't like meet everybody that wanted to meet me at these festivals. Whereas my friends, they can see me all the time. They're going to see me at the hotel. They're going to see me before and after. We're going to have dinner. Like, so it's like as great as I want to like, let's try to catch like one set, but just like when you choose your friends as well as content creators, we have to remember that like, we can't be hanging out with our friends the entire time because if you're making YouTube videos like me, you're either going to stay at this set or you're going to follow me. So those are your two choices because I can't stay in one set and make content, you know? It's
Yeah,
just
it
rough
is.
that
You know,
way,
it's
but
very tough. I understand that. I mean, not as much to the extent that you do, but and then on that same topic, choosing friends that are there to support the idea and the brands associated with Frisky Hug you want to bring up is like also equally as important, and having the right people there to, you know, back it up. And we briefly touched on it yesterday of like friends that might try to take advantage of your situation or stuff
Mhm.
like that. And that's something that you brought to my attention. I've never even thought about. And like, do you have any tips and tricks along with that? I mean, or is it just like you kind of learn as you go, as you're thrown into the situation type of thing?
When it comes to choosing your friends, I guess the best advice I can give you is learn when to cut off like the bad apples. You can learn pretty quickly and stuff like when you're gonna have like some bad apples in your friends group and stuff like that, and you have to learn when to cut those off, even though they're gonna hurt. I mean, if you don't do it now, they're just gonna take advantage of you in the long run. It's gonna hurt even more. Um, and there's different types of friends, right? So like we have our like influencer friends, we have our content creator friends, we have our podcast friends, we have our regular friends. So like everyone plays like a different role in our like our festival weekend.
Yeah.
And you know, and the ones that you're gonna like end up having to communicate the most with are probably your like your regular friends. They have to be willing to let you do your own thing, right? I mean, most of the times, like as content creators, we're getting paid to kind of be there in exchange for like a vlog or an after movie or some type of interview, or we're doing something right behind the scenes. And it's like, okay, like, hey, I'm gonna like leave you guys for a bit, but I'm gonna come back. And a lot of the bad apples come from each of those sections, right? Because you could have some bad apples in your influencer group as well. I mean, everybody wants to grow, obviously, right? So some people will try to use you to get up that ladder. Um, the point of that being is like if they're gonna use you, you should be able to use them too. Otherwise, there's no like equal exchange. Um, so if you don't see that equal exchange, and it doesn't have to be like monetary and stuff, it could just be valued by friendship and valued by like how much time they're giving you and like, you know, I guess how much time and effort they're putting into that friendship.
Mhm.
A lot of the times when I have like somebody who's taking advantage of me, it's normally been just like a regular raver who's just really trying to just go backstage, meet their favorite artists and stuff like that. And as great as I'm willing to, like, if I get that opportunity to meet an artist and stuff like that, and I will choose like one person of like my friend group, like, hey, I know you like you've been really like loyal to me, you've been great to me. How about we go backstage? I introduce you your favorite DJs, you know, and that's just earned, right? So like people who start expecting it, that's when you start considering like, hold on, like we're friends, but like at this point, I'm starting to think that you're using me, right? And you just gotta like,
Yeah. I mean, that's like something even in the real world, not necessarily in this
mhm.
world that we live in with festivals where yeah, you maybe you do stuff for friends or and something and you start to notice that it's like they're you do it once, you do it twice, and then they're like, you know, third time they're like, hey, you didn't you didn't you didn't pick up dinner this time. You're like, oh no, I'm not gonna pick it up every you know, whatever it
Yeah.
might whatever it might be.
No,
I don't
oh man, yeah, like oh man, I talk to my friends about this all the time, and it's like, you know, you always want to make sure that, like, it has nothing to do with how much money you make in a year. It has nothing to do about that, but it has to do with equal return of some form, right? So if you're buy, like if you're paying for your friends like movie tickets and stuff like that, eventually you want them to like, if they can't afford to pay for everybody's like movie ticket, or like, hey, can you pick up a Redbox movie? We'll do like a home movie thing, like put in some effort in your friendships, right?
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree. I think it's something everyone could. I mean, we're all going through that at some point, and we're all learning as we move, go through life. But like, yeah, absolutely. Like, you don't, like you're saying, it's perfectly put. Was you're not expecting equal return. You're not expecting like, oh, I do this, you do that.
Yeah.
Exact same thing. But you're like, just just make it known that you got that effort, and I'll notice it. Everyone will notice it.
So, yeah, sometimes honestly my friends' time, because time is probably like one of the most precious things that anyone can have, right? If someone's willing to give me all of their time, and that for me is like a big return, honestly. Like if I'm going through a really rough day, because I mean, I gotta say, like I'm not saying that like everybody doesn't like go through anxiety and depression, because we all do, but I feel like there's a big like stress factor when you're dealing with companies and making content, and you're trying to meet quotas and meet deadlines, and you're trying to just not disappoint yourself and even less a company, or you're owing something to like a festival or something. You get really depressed sometimes, and I think that takes a toll on everybody. Like everyone needs a mental break, you know and if I have a friend that I can call when I'm at my limit, I owe you at that point. Like you were there, you helped me out. So like that could be, in a sense, like the value that I'm looking for.
No, like 100%. I mean, I can think of times myself where I'm down in the low, and like you're saying, I just need someone to come hang and talk with me about some stuff for 45 minutes. And we talk, we go to have dinner,
Yeah.
and I make sure I get the bill because I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
I just took 45 minutes to an hour of your time. I appreciate you just coming out here.
exactly.
It's
You're
so
not asking for
important.
money. You're just asking for help with your own mental health sometimes.
Yeah, and everyone needs that. Everyone needs those type of friends there to help them, and vice versa. You might be that friend for someone else, and you never
Exactly.
know. And I totally agree. There's a limit to it too, because like on the flip side of it, say you have a friend that's coming to you every other day about something, and then finally you're like, dude, I can't keep giving you this same exact spiel every day.
Yeah.
There's got to be a point where I got to cut it off, and you hate to do that. It's hard to do that as the person that's listening. It is, but I mean, everyone's got their limits. It goes
Exactly. I
back both
mean, I
ways.
mean, if it's wearing you down as well, just hearing it and giving the same advice, at some point you're just like, hey, like I have a mental limit too with whatever we're talking about. I'm sorry.
No, it's true. It's true. It's important, I think, to look at both sides of the
Yeah, that's
coin in a
true.
sense, because we have experiences where we're on both sides. I've had times where I need help, and I've had friends that need help, and I want to be there for them as much as they probably want to be there for me. But like, and I always tell them, my worst fear for me is like I'm the bother. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
I'm always like, if I am in a situation, my worst fear is I am bothering the people around me. That's like my worst fear.
It's crazy how like people think like that though. It's a big thing. Nobody wants to be a bother, and then you have your people who don't mind being a bother, and then they really are actually bothering. Like,
That's so true. Oh, that's so true. We all have to think of someone. It's so true.
I will give some advice though, since we're in the topic of like anxiety, depression, mental health, and stuff like that. Like, if you're a content creator and you're like listening to this, it is okay to take a break. You don't have to post every day. You don't even have to post every week. In fact, you can post whenever the hell you want. And like, there's no point in ever getting so stressed out about having to post a certain thing or meeting a certain criteria that it's worth your mental health. It's just, I put that out there because I know there's plenty of content creators, but tons of influencers. I feel like they're pressured into like, I have to post this. I have to get this engagement. Some people just feel the need to be validated. If they don't post enough, people are gonna forget about them. Like no, like dude, you could not post for a month, and we will like, come on, we're all gonna remember you're here. It's not, you
Yeah,
haven't gone
because
anywhere.
especially if your followers, are like you and like what you're doing, most of them will understand and respect that. At least in my
Yeah.
opinion, I totally agree. And it's something else with that is when you feel the pressure to keep posting and then you don't. Because like say you just get busy one day and
Yeah.
you're not using a scheduling app or something like that, but you get busy one day and you forget. That builds extra pressure because you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot, and then you've got this like uh what's it called, oh my, like snowball effect, where it's just like you get bigger and bigger and you feel more obligated, and then it just, yeah,
Yeah.
it can get bad really quick if you're not
It's
careful. It's
funny.
something people don't talk about with like
Yeah.
like almost like in a sense like the dark, I don't want to say it, like the dark side of influencing, but like
It's true
it is
though.
that, but it is like because people only, I mean, they do for real see you mainly, see any content creator on their Instagram and their platform. They don't really see the behind the scenes and what they're going through. I mean, and then the other thing is like I know tons of people that have maybe a huge following and they want to change up what they're doing. They're just tired of what
Yeah.
they're doing, and that's a big struggle too because they're like they're grappling with this. I want to do something different, but then I might lose X amount of my audience.
I
I don't
know.
know if I want that. And my advice, of course, easier said than done, is do it. You're going to be so much happier doing what you want to do.
Exactly, man. And
But
it's like, and it uses to prepare to lose those followers. Just prepare yourself, and as long as you're prepared to lose that, like my buddy the Fresh Raver, man, you know, it took balls to like do and say the things he did about like Base Nectar, but those things needed to be said by somebody with a platform. And you know, he went out, he said it, lost a few thousand followers. He was ready for that, you know. But in the end, he cares more about what needs to be said than people unfollowing him. And that took balls, man. That was for me. I was like, dude, much respect.
and you know what? That's going to attract first off the right people that he wants on his
Yeah, for
platform and
sure.
wants to be there. Like, and it might, like what I always viewed it is it's going to be maybe a quick decrease at first, right? But then you're going to gain more because you're attracting more of what you want. It's going to be more plentiful because you're doing the things you want to do versus what the audience wants you to do. You know, you're still doing you in a sense. You're not letting the
Yeah.
audience control you. I guess a quick way to sum it up. You know,
Yeah, man, it's true.
it's tough. I mean, I know I've said it before. I think I knew a girl, 100,000 plus followers, and posting, you know, her bikini pictures and stuff like that. And she had come over to me one time. We were talking about social media stuff, and she was like, well, "I want to change what I'm doing." And that was the only thing I could say was, "Are you ready to lose maybe 20% of your following, like because you're not going to be posting those pictures anymore?"
Yeah.
And that was the conversation.
So
That was it.
so
There's nothing
I
else to say.
I mean, I think some people might know this, but like I switched my influencer and like YouTubing career, I guess, in a sense, right? Like I used to work for Activision, which is like this gaming company and stuff like that. And I had my YouTube following for gaming was bigger than my EDM one to this day, right? It was I had help from like Major League Gamers, like everybody was helping me just grow this following. I grew up to like 4K followers on YouTube. You know, I had my platform based all on gaming, video gaming, and I was just like, I was ready to just throw everything into it. And I invested so much money, so much time, so much of other people's times too. Like there were still people helping me try. I had a graphics designer. I had a video editor. Like I'm telling you that I was fully invested. I was fully invested. People were editing my videos. I don't even have that now, like for EDM, because I don't feel like I'm there yet, and I don't feel like I'm gone to that level.
Yeah.
And I decided one day I was just not gonna do it. I had like a mental breakdown. It felt like a lot. And at that time I was still younger. So I didn't realize that I could just not post. Like it's gonna be okay. And I just felt like if I didn't post, I just had to give up then. It's done. You know, if you lose that momentum, don't even worry about it. And I decided one day I'd literally just sold everything, told everybody that I was in charge of, like all that, like, hey, you were no longer working for me. We're no longer on the same team for gaming, breaking up the entire group. Like I was the one who was in charge of everything. I broke up the group and I was like, but if you guys want to continue this, I'll make you like in charge of the group, you in charge of the YouTube channel, you in charge of the website, like you guys do everything on your own. And without me, everything just fell apart. So it didn't matter. Like at some point it was like, it's like a domino effect. So
Mhm.
people just no longer believed in the group that we had formed for gaming. And then you know, I needed a mental health break, and honestly, it lasted a lot longer than I thought it did. It lasted a few years, just me just not gaming, whatever. Then eventually I got back into it and stuff like that. But I was like, I'm not gonna get back into that track. And there have been times when I switched to EDM, and I was like, there have been times when I'm just like, I want to give up. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to
It
go to
happens,
festivals. Like
it happens a lot.
happens a lot, and it's
Yeah.
like I'm human too. And but at the same time, it's um, like the more attraction you get, the more haters you're gonna get to, and like you can only handle so much of the haters as well. Like I I posted a video today, and it was on a premiere, so because I was gonna like edit the thumbnail later, so I just premiered it for now, and I already had a thumbs down. It wasn't even because of the video. I'm like, dude, like if it was like me before, I would have been like, I would have deleted the video. I would have struggled, and they would have like really put me down. But I have come a long way, and it's like I've been mentally prepared for just haters. Just it's gonna be okay. At this point, any engagement is good engagement. And I'll take your thumbs down, whatever.
Yeah, and you come to a point where you realize that whatever you do, whether it's what everyone wants you to do or what you do, like someone's gonna complain, like I saw a thing today actually with like Elon Musk, and I don't know if you know like his situation where he like sold all of his houses and stuff because he was tired of people being like, oh, you're this billionaire and yada yada. And he's like, I'm just trying to make electric cars and yada yada, which everyone has their opinion of him, but I know he came on like Joe Rogan's podcast and was like, I sold all of my houses. Like I'm no longer living in any mansion. Like I've minimalized, and like, which is just crazy. And then the other days someone posted a picture of him in like their living room, and people thought it was his house. And someone quoted it with like, wow, billions of dollars with those cabinets, which is funny. But I'm like, no matter what this man does, he can't get away from the.
You're not gonna please.
From it.
You're not gonna please everybody, right? And it's just, It is what it is, man. I mean, it takes a lot of experience to realize that, though. I think a lot of the younger like influencers and younger content creators, they don't realize that like they're gonna get a bunch of hate all the time, and then everyone thinks that the influencers or content creators are getting this hate like they're just handling it so well, but sometimes honestly they're not handling it very well. It turns into a whole week of depression. It's like it's rough on everybody.
No, I could see that. I haven't run into too much of it yet, so I'm on like the newbie level, I would say. But yeah, now thank you for getting me prepared.
Even you can psych yourself out. You could be your own worst hater. And I say this because if you get low engagement on your posts or on your videos, like I've gone a YouTube video that got 30 views and like 9 thumbs down, and it made me delete the video. I was like, you know what? It probably was a trash video. Like I rewatched it, and I actually wasn't proud of it. And I was like, you're right, I wasn't proud of it. Like I'm just gonna delete it.
But that is true. You said something right there. That you are your worst enemy. I mean, you really are. And when it comes down to it in the end, like it's always kind of a daily battle with the guy up here and working through that. I mean, like there's times where, like I said, I'm fairly new. I'm only about a year and a half in, but there's times where like I would be like, what the hell am I doing right now? Like, and you're like, and then you have to like grapple out of that. Like, well, no, I'm doing what I was originally planning on doing. It's just slower. It's not what that's the thing, is battling that slow grind versus like everyone wants it, right away. Everyone wants it. Who doesn't want overnight success? Everyone does. But like, how often does it happen? And that's the thing, is it very rarely happens. So you got to come to terms with like, it's coming. It's just a while away. Like I'm just doing what
you got to learn not to care. You have to like if you get like 5 likes in a post versus if you get like a couple hundred on a post, I mean, look at what you did wrong. Maybe your pictures were just really bad edited. Like saturation does wonders for pictures. I'll tell you that. I mean, if you're a girl, that booty could do work. You know what I'm saying? Like but at the same time, if you do all that and that only got you like 5 likes, I mean,
maybe they want something.
That's really bad for your psyche. And I'm like scared for some of the females that like, they put themselves out there and they don't get that response that they wanted. That's really like heartbreaking, right? Like, but you have to learn just not to care. You have to learn to just post whenever the hell you want. I have like a photo album with like all the contracts that I have for like brands and stuff. And I have like I have my calendar filled with what days I need to post and stuff like that. Other than that, I'll post whenever the hell I feel like it. If I get only a couple, I could get 0 likes on a post and I just won't care. I don't care. It's just like, I posted it because of me. I don't know if I felt cute. Might delete later.
Yeah. Bringing the trend back. No, but there's so much, there's a lot to the authenticity that people like when you are just doing stuff kind of for you in a sense. I mean, obviously, yes, you want to curate to an audience and you always want to take their advice, but the same sentence, it does come back to you. And that's something I've noticed. I mean, I'm kind of changing my page up a little bit, and it's like, it's hard to do that, but then I'm like, it's not how it doesn't feel right, like it doesn't feel like what I want to do. And it's like we've been saying, it's hard to grapple with that, but then the authenticity of like, oh, he's doing what he wants to do and what he likes, you're gonna have so much more fun doing that, and it's not going to be a burden in that sense.
Yeah, like for me, the pictures are, I love taking pictures. But at some point, taking pictures turns into like a job, right? It's like I have to have an outfit. I have to get a good place to take the picture. I have to have friends, because if I don't have influencer friends with me or content creator friends with me, I got to find my regular friends that are willing to take pictures, right? And
Right.
then and then I ran into a
Awkward,
situation when,
right.
well, one of my buddies, you have to tell him, hey, don't laugh at me, don't pick on me, but I need you to be like my camera guy, right? It's just like, I just need these pictures, bro. And it's like, I let one of my buddies take my pictures last for 4th of July. And I'm telling you right now, he took about 100 pictures, which I told him to do, take about 100. I forgot to tell him that I wanted all of my body parts in those pictures. A bit like half my eye, like part of my arm was missing. I'm like, dude, I had to be like in the center of the picture. I can't just be in the corner. Like you like,
Half your eye. That's hysterical. No,
and
I
I'm
mean,
like,
and yeah, it's that's so,
I had one picture that I could use, and I'm like, it's not your fault. We're not retaking those pictures again, because there's a whole line. I'm
yeah,
like, we're not here. Just, it is what it is, man.
yeah. It's it. Bless those friends that will do it though. They put good.
Man, I have some friends that like, because I do need somebody like sometimes like go and like hold my GoPro, and I have friends that like, they'll take my GoPro and they'll start asking people questions for me, and then they'll put me as the main attraction. Like I have some pretty dope friends too that like, so I know which is to give the GoPro to and which is to give the camera to now. It's like, okay, like,
It's all, yeah, like you said, it's all a learning process even with
yeah.
that.
I prefer an influencer or content creator, but you take what you can get, man.
Absolutely. What's funny to me is like I always, as a guy, I don't know why, but as a guy I always feel like, maybe you felt this at the beginning, like uncomfortable like taking a lot of pictures at a festival, because you always see girls do it, and nothing against that, like, but you always see like girls doing it, and it's always like a joke on Twitter, like girls are going to festivals just to take pictures, and as a guy I'm like, why am I here doing this?
And it's like, so it 100%, man, 100%, right? Because a lot of times I just want to take pictures like my friends or whatever, right? Or with
Yeah.
somebody like famous I met or something like that, right? That's the picture I want to take. So it does feel a little weird, just like you have to be like the main attraction and whatever. I prefer maybe doing a duo with another influencer. It makes it a little easier. I'm not doing a booty pic. I'm not doing these, so like for me, I have to like, I
Yeah,
guess I
how
perform
do
either
we
two. Yeah, I either do like this mysterious, sexy look, or I do like a silly look. And about like 90% of the times they're like super silly, or like it looks like I'm tripping, or it looks like I'm kicking the camera, something like artistically silly, whatever. So like that's what I. But when I'm done taking the pictures and stuff, I can't help but just look. Everybody around me just looking at me. It's like,
I know, I know.
I mean, they are. They look at me. They're pointing. But a lot of times I have to think positive, and it was like, one, a lot of these brands either gave me clothes or we had like a deal for like me going to the festival. Like I had to take a picture all 3 days for the festival in order to even get this free ticket or whatever. Right? I have to like amp up this festival or ramp up this rave. So like technically I'm working, so it's like a job, and so like I'm not. That's the way I think about it, and it makes it like a little bit easier on me.
I agree.
Also like
That-
it can't get any worse than my GoPro. I'm already talking to my GoPro. Like,
yeah, that's something that's been like freshly new to me. It's like talking, because like I wanted the page to be more about me and Bab's life and yada yada, but like that is something that has been so tricky with like talking in the camera. I never thought that it would be something that was hard, like, because I can do this all day. I'm in the podcast, I'm in the zone, I got the headphones in, I got the mic, I'm talking to you, and I'm having a great time, and I can do this all day, and I love doing this. But for some reason I pull that GoPro out and I'm like, so I'm here at the like, I like totally like blank. I'm not used to it yet, and it was
yeah.
shocking to me when I first did it. I just didn't get enough like content for a vlog. I was like, dang, like I really gotta get like practice this. Like just be in my house, like, oh, I'm cooking chicken today, like, and just get used to having the GoPro out. But that's something that like you do very well now, and I'm sure it was the same thing. Like, but it was just so weird. Like I didn't think it was gonna be as hard as it was.
It looks
It
easier
looks easy,
than, yeah.
yeah.
And you took a camera and you're like, okay, hold on. This is like, I had to accept being silly, drunk, ridiculous. I had to accept all of that. And it took me some time to accept it, right? And at first I was limiting myself because I was I was afraid of like people around me thinking, right? But then when I got closer, I got better, I mean, at vlogging. Festival vlogging seemed a little easier to do. And what got hard was public vlogging, because at least festival vlogging is acceptable because of all the influencers and content creators already in the festival scene. But try going to a store or a train station or a plane or an airport and just start vlogging and stuff like that. Like, that's the level I'm at now. And I'm just like, at the first few times, it was really hard. I'm like, dude, I'm literally vlogging like at this airport. And then after a while, I got used to it. I'm like, you know what? I can do this. Like they don't know me. For all they know, I'm this really famous YouTuber. They don't know me, it's easier if it was with like yourself. When I was thinking about this, because Who is Brian on YouTube? He does this very well because he does it with his camera or with his phone. So it looks like he's talking to like his relatives or something, like you can fake it or make it if you have like a cell phone. You're just talking to yourself and use your cell phone as a vlog. Much easier if you do that and use that footage for your, for those scenes, and then just switch to your GoPro for the festival might be the way to go.
Now,
Looks
do
like
you
you're
hold the phone like vertically or horizontally? That's my thing. I was like, because it doesn't need to be like, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because like if like, which is fine. I mean, you can do that, but doesn't have to be horizontal. Because I feel like when you do it vertical, it's not gonna fit into.
People do vertical videos. They just add it to the vlog. It's just black on the outside. I don't know. I prefer not to do those I prefer not to do those. If I'm gonna do the something vertical, it's gonna be an add-on to the screen, like here or here, right? It's just gonna be on the side, like an extra video or whatever. I don't like doing this, but I've also just gotten used to literally. I just vlog myself in a plane just for this last vlog, and people are looking at me, and I'm over here vlogging the airport or the inside the plane, And somebody was like, "Oh, are you a YouTuber?" I'm like, "Yeah, you should subscribe."
Hey, it's a free subscriber.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't know, and everyone's so supportive when they see that, because everyone initially is looking out for your success, and they don't even know you. It's sad because it's like your friends that are the ones that like don't want you to be successful sometimes. So you gotta watch out for those guys, which was part of the first topic.
Yeah, but I mean, it is tricky because like it's funny how like supportive just like random people are, like people you've never met. I mean, like within the last month or so, I've met some great people out on like at Vegas, stuff like that, and like didn't even know they knew anything about me. Just like thought like, oh, that's like a friend from Twitter or something, and like then come to know like two of them are like, oh yeah, your podcast is pretty cool, and I'm like, wait, what? Like you actually listen? Like I just had no idea. And like,
oh man, isn't that gratifying though? Like when you hear something like that.
I mean, of course it is. It's something that I think any content creator can relate to, is like when you hear it from close friends, random people, like anyone that, hey, like I like this current episode you did, or I like this topic, I like what you're doing with this. Like it is so gratifying because you're like, oh, I'm doing the right thing. Like,
it's validation.
Yeah,
and
validation.
Sometimes we need that in order to motivate ourselves to keep going forward. And an example is I recorded the Excision like live set for the tour that he did in Vegas, and it's been like the whole thing. I recorded like his entire set, right?
And it was like, sorry, sorry to interrupt you. On day one,
I didn't want to do day two because I was tired.
I don't know. Dang, I was there. Day one was crazy. Anyways, continue. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, so I recorded day one and stuff, and it got like 5K views right within like a week, and I was like, okay. Then I saw my analytics, and I've had 16,000 views in the last 28 days. I'm like, well, okay, like that's a lot. Like at least for me, like for my channel and stuff, like that's a lot. Like
that's a lot. I mean, I think most people would want that.
And I was like, I was in my bed when I saw that, the analytics, and I got out of my bed. I'm like, I better start editing this vlog. I need to like start editing because like this pumped me up. This is the validation I need. People are watching my stuff. Yeah. Like, 16K views is like that for me is a lot. And I was like, okay, if people are watching it, then I gotta keep the same momentum going. Like I can't stop now. So I got out of my bed. It was like 11 o'clock at night. Like I just started editing my vlog, and I was like, next video up. Like I gotta keep pushing, and that could be a form of like, validation that we need as well. Some great ones that I see is like being recognized like in public. Like I got recognized at the airport one time, and it literally just like blew my mind. One, that somebody could even like I wasn't wearing like my merch and stuff. I usually wear like Frisky Hug stuff, and like people could like recognize me easier. I was wearing PJs, flip flops, and a hula hoop. Not a hula hoop, but, you know. It's probably not weird as a raver too, wearing a hula hoop. But I was at the airport and somebody like started screaming my name, and I was like, he wanted a picture with me, and I was like I am super humbled right now. Like this is the kind of shit like you look for to keep you going. Like this is good for my mental health, and you're making me a better person because of it.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's the validation you need, and it helps you so much. Just again, not even just random people, but even your friends when they say stuff. It's like, wait, really? Like when you don't, if they don't say it all the time, and they do finally say like, hey, you're doing this and this. I like that. I think you should keep doing that. Like I had a friend at Forbidden, we were in the set just hanging, and they were like, hey, your podcast is going really good. I like that you do this and this. And I was like, it just caught me off guard. You're just enjoying the music, and they were like, I just want to tell you that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. I think about it all the time. I'm like, that's the best news I ever got.
Yeah, it's great, and like I was at Sunset Music Festival, and this chick starts running up to me, and she starts screaming my name, and I'm with. And like the thing is, like your friends have to understand, man. I keep saying this because they have to understand, man, that being like an icon or a content creator, you're gonna get stopped a lot, and they have to be either willing to find you again or stop for you, right? Most of my friends will just stop for me. That they know to just keep looking back, like I might not be there. And I had somebody come up to me and she's like, dude, I love your TikToks. Like I'm so happy I bumped into you. I want to trade candy. Can we get a picture? And I was just like, dude, like, it's not even like my Instagram. That you didn't say Instagram, right? You said TikTok. That's amazing. That means I'm doing something for TikTok. Like I had somebody at a drive-in rave. He came up to me and stuff like that. He's like, does anyone have like a bobby pin? I'm like, oh, I have a pin. It was like my Frisky Hug pin. So like I put it for his costume because it was during Halloween, and I pinned his costume together because it's like it came loose. We were inside of the drive-in rave, and this guy is looking for me, and like he's like, oh hey, like by any chance, are you like the guy who owns that flag? And I'm like, it was like I attached it to like a car. And I'm like, yeah, it's me. And he gets a pin like, and this is you, right? The Frisky Hug guy. And I'm like, the Frisky Hug guy, like, yeah, that's me. And it was like, he's like, dude, I see all of your YouTube videos. And I was like, bet again, like another platform. So like I'm every platform does something, and we have to acknowledge every platform that we're in. The one that I need to get better at is probably my Twitter. I'm so bad at that. But I've never had somebody tell me you're from Twitter. So like it never really like made me want to be like, oh yeah, let me make my Twitter better.
It's a weird one because you're like, do I want to be known from Twitter? Or do I not?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're Twitter. Like, yeah. Oh, you're that toxic guy, right? Yeah. Everyone knows EDM Twitter is toxic. Everyone.
Yeah. I stay out of that drama as best as I can. I just keep my mouth shut. I just tweet about songs and post videos, and that's about it.
I'm so bad at it that I actually somebody offered me to take over my page and just pretend to be me. And I was like, oh, that sounds so good. Like, I really don't want to use it. And then you could just send me the DMs, whenever they come in or whatever, like the important ones. I don't even care about the, and he's
so worried that they would like how do they can't be your persona. So it's like, what if they comment on something that you're like, I would never comment that.
True. Like, what are you mad about? Like, what are you doing? ruining my entire figure. Could you imagine that?
Oh my god, yeah, I would need some type of micromanaging over that. Like, I'd be like, just send me a tweet before you send it out. But
yeah, I would probably just write a contract. Like, here are the rules. Like, nothing harassing, nothing like sexual. Just be very like just normal, all right? Like, just make it so I post more than once every 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. It's all right. You're not missing much on Twitter anyways. Which is ironically, isn't that how we connected though? Didn't I DM you on Twitter?
And you did. And like I got back to you like days later. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
No, it works. But I saw you on Instagram is where I originally saw you. And then I think I don't know why. I saw you on Instagram, but I DM'd you.
I think you saw because Emma and Aid and BB How we're all doing a live thing together, and she posted it on her Twitter probably.
I watched a little bit of that, but yeah, I don't know why I went from one platform to the next.
It's fun. I wasn't even on Twitter when I saw your message. I was on because it goes to my Gmail under like the spam, and I decided just like look at my spam stuff. Like,
well, here we are, perfect. It works out.
Great.
We got lucky.
Yeah, no, better off just on my Instagram. I have all my notifications turned off for everything. That's just for my own sanity. But like eventually I do look at my Instagram probably the most out of everything.
Now
I might not get back to you for a while.
knows that now.
I might not get back to some people because like it's sometimes my brain can't process if I'm doing something, and I was like, which then sucks. Is like a lot of times, like if it's like a brand or like a festival or something like that, I'd be like, hey, could you just like email me because I'm gonna lose that DM in like a day.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's not gonna happen.
Something I'm curious about was like festival opportunities because you're an influencer and the deals with those and stuff like that. Because we touched on it a little bit yesterday and a little bit before this we got on the podcast, but of that, like you're talking about, like they have these deals and then you're like, well, is it really worth my time? And that's something like, again, I didn't think of, and I'm sure like most people don't think of, is that they just see like, oh, these influencers got this brand deal. They're getting, while they're working with iHeart Ravers or whoever it is, Hydration, Lunchbox, all those other, there's tons of brands. But like you mentioned that the other day, and I'm just curious on that, like how does that whole ecosystem in a sense work of just influencers and brand deals, and what do you have a say in it? Can you negotiate? Like I'm very interested in that.
So like a lot of like brands, right? They'll have normally like a contract or campaign or some sort where, or proposal where they're like, hey, here's like what we expect from you. But in exchange, it's like, what are you getting in return? A lot of the times you just get 10% commission, right? And for me, 10% commission, I'm like, oh, okay, like, I promote your code, I get 10% commission, right? But then there are times when you have to like post on your page like once a month, twice a month. You have to like wear the clothes in those things. And it's like, if I have to pay for the clothes and I have to post on them in order to get a code to promote you, and all I'm getting is 10%, then we have some like rethinking to do. Because at this point I'm negative $100 and you are up like 7 free posts and 7 free stories.
Yeah, that's crazy to me that they would like that,
and
come up
and maybe I'm just like really dumb, right? Because like iHeart Raves made it so easy for me. All my money went straight to my PayPal. My PayPal went straight to my bank, right? So iHeart Raves for one was actually pretty decent. They didn't ask me to do anything. You just promote your code and you get money. And that was great, right? But then there are other brands where you like have to like sign in and then you transfer money or whatever. And I was like one, I don't even know what login I was supposed to be using. Like, where was he? Like, did I lose the instructions somewhere? Like, because I probably did, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna remember all these like where to log in to like see how much I've made and that kind of stuff. So I don't know. So a lot of the times, like, I don't even know where my commission money's at. I know for iHeart for Electro Threads, I had an account and I didn't realize it for the longest time. And then like there's like $300 just sitting in my account. I had like no idea of like, but it was store credit. And I was like, I can't even like use that money. I have to use it for like store credit and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Let me use it for store credit. So I went through my Electro Threads account and I purchased some stuff and I tried to use a 30% discount code plus like my campaign money or my promotion money. But it only allowed me to do one or the other. And I was just like, dude, kids can't win here. Like, so like it depends on the brand. I've obviously I've already cut off some brands, which I won't name and stuff like that, because like it just gets a little overwhelming with how much they require me to do. And I'm already doing that for festivals. I don't have the brain capacity to be doing that for brands too all the time. So I'm picking and choosing which brands I decide to dedicate like my most of my time and effort in. So right now, like I'm big on the Lunchbox. I'm very committed to that company. I've been working for them for a minute. I love them. So like when they came to like saying like, oh, you got to post like once a month on your story, on your post, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be working with them for a while anyways. Might as well do it for that. But when it came to like an unknown clothing company, right, where I have to keep posting this, like I only have one outfit from them. You want me to keep posting the same outfit every month? Now we have issues, right? Like where my content sucks now because they've seen this picture. They've seen this outfit plenty of times. It looks like I'm just literally promoting the same single design. I could post another design by paying another $100 out of my own pocket to promote, like
Yeah.
not doing it. I can't do it. And then like that's just one company. Imagine like 5 other companies doing that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I know my worth, and my worth isn't giving away this much free promo, and I'm not gonna make myself look bad with the same outfits just to make you look good.
Yeah. I mean, it's valid. I completely understand that. It's like it's just not as good as like I think a lot of people think when you're an influencer, you get, oh my gosh, they get all this stuff, man, and it's amazing. And at the end of the day, it's like you're saying, like sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm kind of like almost selling myself in order to get that. Like it's not, it's not
Yeah, you have to make some hard choices to just cut off certain brands and stuff like that. And like people think that I go to a festival for free and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm sorry, but like I literally have to have like pictures and stuff, and you have to think, man, like there are, because I got in this weird argument with another DJ before, and he said I was gonna go to that festival regardless, and I'm like, yeah, because you're a DJ. But imagine people who aren't in the EDM scene like you are. They go just to a festival every once in a while, maybe twice a year. They go to a festival. They're not gonna keep track of every festival that's going on. But if one of your favorite content creators is probably going, I mean, I'm sorry, but like if I haven't met one of my favorite like YouTubers and they said they were gonna be at this festival, I'm probably gonna go to that festival. The DJs don't see it that way because they're like, oh, like I was gonna go regardless, but I'm like, you're so in the EDM world that you don't see like outside of that box, right?
Yeah.
But like people like that are the ones that are people who are like into the EDM scene a lot more are the ones that think like, oh, we get everything for free, this and this. But like, I'm sorry, I have like a 2-page contract that I have to like promote. I have to do TikToks, I have to do stories, I have to do posts, I have to do YouTube videos. Like I'm required to use every single one of my platforms for these festivals. It's not free. I mean, it takes hours of editing. I'm sorry, but people pay for editors. I'm editing my own stuff, so that's literally like my time, my money, right? So if you think about it, I'm gonna go to Global Dance Festival like next week, and I'm gonna do 2 vlogs. One, it took time out of my day during those festivals to do those vlogs because I'm taking time away from my friends who I was saying, hopefully they're understanding, but it's also like a job.
Yeah.
They're understanding. I'm taking away time from hanging out with my friends, getting fucked up. I mean, a lot of times when I'm working at these festivals for these vlogs, I'm sober. I haven't had a lick to drink, a lick of anything else, right? And it's like I'm making sure I'm 100% sober to produce like good quality content. But if I'm like completely plastered, I probably pay for that festival, right? So like I'm also I'm also like, giving up having this much fun or whatever. And then editing a video. I used to pay an editor $50 for a 3-minute video before when I was gaming. So you have to think about it. If this video or this vlog is going to be 10 to 15, maybe even 20 minutes long, I'm probably going to pay more than $50. I'm probably paying like 100, 150 for that time. Obviously, vlogs are a little easier because you just have to go through it. But I like to pay people what they're worth, and I feel like like $15 per hour from what I've seen at me editing is probably worth it. Probably take me about 8 hours to edit both of these vlogs. I think that's a whole day's worth of work. $150 is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're
the festival only costs 150. like
yeah, that's I get exactly what you're saying. You mentioned like how you are doing all the editing and you're doing all the editing not only for them but just for all of your platforms and everything like that. And I also want to know, how is working a full-time job that you have and being a content creator on the side, how do you balance that? I know I love talking about this because I think it's just, one, it's important because we talk about tips and tricks we have, and then 2, it's like, hey, I'm not alone doing this myself. Like it's like a booster up or knowing that there's other people in the same boat. But I always am curious on how you as yourself balance that work-life balance as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always exhausted. I'm just tired all the time. I don't know what it is.
Lots of coffee.
I'm always feeling lethargic and like working like long hours. Sometimes you get like really long days. I don't eat breakfast. Sometimes I don't even get lunch. I don't eat dinner till late. You know, on top of that, I'm trying to make sure that I'm going to the gym every day. So I'm like, the little time I do have to like edit, it's really rough. And like, I need that extra boost of motivation, but I try to edit a little bit a day. I try to go through like my pictures and like edit them, like, well, maybe one on the plane and stuff like that. Um, I have a pretty nice job. It's pretty relaxed when it comes to like flexibility with festivals. I try not to be so flexible with it when it comes to like small venues and like local venues. Like I'm not gonna be flexible with my job to be like, hey, can I get some time off for this? That just doesn't cut it. But a festival's paying me, festival, you know, I'm creating content. So we're like all helping each other out. I will ask for like days off and stuff like that. My job is pretty flexible on that. So it's really nice to have a 9 to 5 where I also can request days off. Not everybody has that privilege, and I feel bad for the people who don't. But at the same time, I'm also a content creator that needs the extra time to make content. So what I like to do is I actually like to edit my videos after I get done with the festival. So I'll go to the Airbnb, the hotel, my friend's house, whatever, take my laptop, and I will literally edit for about 2 hours instead of spending time with my friends. So I'll edit videos. If I don't get done with those videos, I'm not able to upload all of the ones that I wanted, because those set time videos take a really long time to edit. So like I'll go grab like a drink with my friends and stuff while it like the 30 to 40 minutes to like render an hour set or whatever.
Mhm.
So if I'm not done with those things, because you have to also remember I have to make TikToks for the festivals too. So now I have to prepare. So it's always like a thinking game that you always gotta think ahead for like the next day. So like I'll prep my TikToks that day and I'll do like the intro stuff and then I'll do the transition when I get there. Cool, I'm done with those. Let me edit the photos because believe it or not, not TikTok, because TikTok doesn't really matter with this, but Instagram and YouTube are very similar in the aspect of you have to post like immediately the next day. So a day one, festival, make sure those pictures get posted like at 9 or 10 in the morning of that festival day, so people have adequate time between pre-gaming also to look at your stuff, like your stuff, comment. Some people might have missed you. Some people might have not noticed you were at Excision's tour and then realized the next day, like, oh no.
Oh, who could that be? That wasn't me.
You know, but like normally people won't like post until they're done with the festival because it's just so hard to like edit good pictures and like post it, come up with a caption.
Yeah.
But you take time away from your friends to like edit these captions and you feel like a douchebag. I feel like a douchebag sometimes because we're out having like breakfast and stuff with the fam and I'm like over here making sure this caption is long and make sure like, you know, now I make sure I tag everybody because now I don't want to upset anybody if I didn't tag them by accident. It's like, you know, it's like there's a
That's a
lot to
struggle in
like.
itself, yeah.
I am so drained right now with like everything that I'm going on. I have to make sure like everything's like, so I neglect my friends and stuff like that, which goes back to the first thing again. Make sure you have great friends.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then there are
That's
times
awesome.
when I actually, it's funny. It was the day after, I don't know, I was flying somewhere. I think I was flying back home. And I literally had my laptop out and if I'm gonna, I'll get first class if I know that I didn't have enough time to edit a video. So then I'll take my laptop and I have like more room to like edit my videos. And it's so weird, man. And I thought I was gonna get over like vlogging myself, but it's even weirder editing a video of yourself vlogging when somebody's like next to you watching you literally like edit these videos of yourself. And I was like, dude, like I'm not this conceited. Like I have a YouTube. Like no, but like I try to cram all of the like content creator stuff on these weekends. That way I'm more relaxed during the week and I have time for like maybe like this, like podcast stuff, IG lives, and I have all the time during the weekdays.
Mhm.
Um, and gosh, you know, I'm like having a flashback of me with all these content creators. We were having this this Zoom call, and that's when I realized like we all just edit and content create differently.
No,
Um,
no doubt.
some of us are huge planners and we edit, like we have like our editing days, you know, or we edit across the week. I'm the guy that edits during the festival. I will be editing like right before, right after, during the festival. And it sucks, but like I just don't see myself going back home and having like an editing day. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like if I feel lethargic or just don't want to, I just won't. And that's been my mentality and it's been great for my mental health, just not caring, right? Like, so like my Excision vlog, I just uploaded today. That thing should have been done on the 4th.
Yeah.
But you
I
know
get
what I
it.
decided to do on the 4th instead? I went to I went to a free Grizz concert. That's what I did. And then I went to another concert. And then I went to the park and got drunk.
That was crazy.
I'm going to prioritize having fun sometimes. I'm sorry. So it's like, I probably should have edited and uploaded, and I would have gotten way more views, I'm sure. But in my head, I go through days where I'm just like, I just don't care anymore. I'm just gonna wait this out until I feel like it. And if I was more like maybe one of these planner content creators, but I'm not. I'm very go with the flow. If I feel like shit, I'm just gonna feel like shit and just not do anything all day.
And you know what? Again, like you said, each to his own. And I think there's some good thing in that, like, because there are days where, I mean, there are days where you do have to push yourself and go do stuff, but there's other days where, like, you gotta realize you need that rest. And as long as that rest doesn't tumble into a month of rest, you know, because it's easy to be like, oh, that was nice, I'll take another day. At least for me, it is. I'll be straight up on it. It's nice where I have something happen and I'm like, whew, I'll rest today. And then tomorrow I'm like, maybe one more day isn't too bad.
But like, you know, like I will tell companies like, hey, like, I'm sorry, I'm barely replying to your email. I'm just a shitbag. Like I've been a shitbag all week, and I apologize for the way I am. But I just am who I am, and like, I'm sorry, I can't be relied on. I'm like, I feel bad. Like companies work with me, and I'm like, I'm just not reliable. I'm sorry when it comes to like reading things and going through emails. I'm just not reliable. The only thing you can rely on is me making you content. I will for sure make you content if you have like a scheduled time I need to make content by. So a lot of campaigns will be like, I need you to post this by this Friday. Bet I will post it by that Friday. It might be that Thursday night, but I will post it.
Yeah. No, and that's good. I mean, you're organized in that sense, and I get that. Like, it's hard. You've got so much going on that it's okay. I can let the emails and the DMs slack a little bit because it's not the end of the world. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you can keep up going 100% on every category.
I've literally done open heart surgery. Like as a I've done open heart surgery. That is like life threatening. Reading emails and DMs, we're all going to be okay.
Yeah. True. A very, very unique perspective. I can't relate to that, but that's absolutely true. That's how, I mean, yeah, it is. It's funny when you have, and in general, when people have events that might seem more like the events that just put things in perspective is all I can really say. It doesn't have to be anything big. It can be heart surgery, absolutely, but it's different for everyone. And when you get that perspective, it does change where you're like, that email can wait. It's not the end of it, you know?
I used to take pictures during COVID, and I honestly did it just to, I don't know, do something because I was bored. So I took up photography and I started taking pictures for like DJs and stuff. And there was like one DJ in particular where like, you know, I didn't give him his pictures for like 2 to 3 weeks, bro. But I'm sorry. I was just like, what part of I'm a shitbag did they not understand? I tell them that at the beginning, like, listen, man, it might be a minute, like, because I'll edit it and then like, there is something said that like if you just don't like your work, it just sucks, and you just edit and you're just like, dude, I'm just not liking this. And it goes with like video editing too, and like you just don't like this video, and it's like I've gone to that point where like it's taken me a minute to like edit videos even for like vlogs because like it's just a lot. There's a lot that I don't like. I'm trying to make like art out of a pile of shit, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and that will demotivate you, and then like it'll just make you last longer, and like it takes a lot longer. So like, you know, a lot of the times it took me a little bit longer to edit photos. But if I took some bomb photos, I'm telling you got those pictures like in 72 hours. Like they were there. Like, but if it's lasted longer than if it lasted longer than a week, then I'm probably not too sure about my quality.
That's hysterical. No, I get it. I started bringing my camera, and the pictures I just take are just friends and stuff. I got it to them like 2 weeks after the festival. I'm like, hey, here's your SMS picture in June.
Oh my god, that's how it is.
Sorry.
I will take pictures of my friends too, like my Instagram friends, and I will just put it on the Dropbox. Here's all your guys' pictures, you know. But I have to like do warning. Half of these, or maybe even 90% of them, are trash. And none of them are edited. So the work's on you, right? Because like at first I was like editing everyone's pictures, sending them all over, just going over the good ones. And I was like, dude, honestly, I am so busy. I don't even have time to like even look through which pictures are good. You do that for me. Here's the pile of crap.
Yeah, here's all 20.
No, sorry, no, they're like, 'cause I took like 100 and something. Here's 100 and something of your pictures. Yeah, because like, they're only gonna use like 3 for their like, carousel.
100%. That's how everyone,
I'm
that's how
like,
everyone does it.
yeah, you choose it, you edit it,
Yeah.
but do not post those pictures and then tag me and then not edit them like that. Like, here's this picture. Oh, thank you for skiing. I'm like, great. It looked like crap. Thank you. Not everyone knows I'm a terrible photographer.
Yeah, that's work in progress for me as well. Well, last question before we get going here, but it's how are you living yourself for every day? Kind of tie this in.
I guess I kind of like said it at the beginning, and I've been saying it like the entire time, is just always having a great network of friends. You are the people you hang around yourself with, who you surround yourself, who motivates you, and all those people will in turn give you a honestly better mental health and a better life. And I know you shouldn't rely on always like people to make you happy, but they do have an influence on you. And if you're surrounding yourself with trashy friends, you're not going to get anywhere. Trash doesn't go anywhere except for the dumpster, honestly. And
yeah. All right, see, man, we're gonna end
it. We're all, and the network that you're building yourself with, the community you're building yourself with, they need to be able to like empower you, be there for you, and stuff like that. And that's the festival life that I'm bringing in. That's the regular life that I have. I'm willing to provide for those people if they're willing to provide back, and in turn, it's like we're all benefiting from each other. And this is one of the reasons why I love having so many content creator friends and influencer friends, because we all get along so well and we're all helping each other out. We're all in here for the same reason. We're all struggling. We're all trying to better ourselves in every way we can. I think that's part of like why we all like, we're all in podcasts, we're all helping each other out and stuff like that. That's why I'm in so many podcasts, but at the same time, it's like, at the same time, it's like when I see like a content creator or a YouTuber, hey, I'd love it if you were like in my vlog too, like help me out, because like people love seeing that we're all intertwined. It's like when you meet like a follower and that follower's like friends with like a longtime friend, they're like, wait a minute, like, him? Yeah, he's like a content creator. And you're like, their minds are blown, right? And it's like, the fact that like me and you are probably in this podcast right now, people are like, wait, like, Jacob, and they'd be like, what, Frisky Hug, so it's like, yeah, like, believe it or not, we're all in this world together. We're all like, intertwined. It's crazy.
One of the best things about this that was unexpected to me in a sense. I heard about it in a sense on like Joe Rogan, where he was like, I always have comedians come on because I just like having them on. I just love boosting people up, and that's what podcasting is about. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I did my podcast and just starting it, and even where I'm at now, nothing crazy, but like I'm enjoying it. I'm having a great time, and being able to have people on like you, and then Aid being like, hey, I'll come on, and like Emma Capote is like, it was like, wow. I'm like, it was just shocking to me, because like they have established followers, they're doing their own content, but they were like, hey, yeah, we'll come on. Why don't you come on ours? We like what you're doing. Like, it was just totally shocking to me, but it's one of the things I love about the community.
We're all in the same boat. I feel we're all in the same boat. And I think some of us just need to humble ourselves just a little bit, right? Like if people aren't helping you, or let's say somebody goes out to you like, well, if I'm reading your podcast, like I'd love to like get paid for it or something like that. And I'm like, you were there too one time, you like, we're all trying to help each other out. Like, I'm not above helping somebody who wants to maybe like grow their Instagram or grow their YouTube or grow their TikTok. Like somebody's like, oh, can we do a collab on TikTok? Dude, I'm not above saying yes for a collab with like somebody who's trying to like be a content creator too. Cause I feel like I owe it to other people to be like a guide, because I've had my own form of guides, like I look up to like my own like YouTubers and stuff, like friends that have helped me with certain dilemmas I've had, So like, I forgot what you said. It's not like passing the buck, but it's like you're
passing on the knowledge. I mean, it is, it is what it is. Someone has helped you along the way, and now I mean, you're not obligated to, but in a sense, I feel like we should pass the knowledge that I've been giving to other people. I mean, I've had one or two friends that wanted to start a podcast recently, and that's one thing I was like, hey, you let me know whenever you need help, because
Yes,
it was so
facts.
weird for me to start, and I was looking. I had one friend that really pushed me to do it, and then he kind of guided me and sent me a couple things, and I was like, I gotta do that for them now. You know, they're asking me just like I was asking him. It's like, yeah, it's called like the new media. You know, you have old media where they're fighting,
Yeah.
they're trying to see who can get prime time, and now it's like,
Yeah.
this is the new media. We're just helping each other out. We're hoping we all grow together.
I will say sometimes it does get a little competitive.
Of course, which is good.
Yeah, which is fine. But most of the times we're all in the same boat, right? We're all just trying to make it. We're all just trying to get engagement. We're all trying to be heard. We're all trying to be validated, right? And what a great feeling to know that your fellow YouTubers, fellow podcasters, fellow TikTokers, fellow Instagrammers, like are all willing to help you out, you know, they're all thinking of you too, which is like super amazing. Cause like I just had somebody before we got this podcast DM me, you know, I'm like, even though I said no to like the proposal and stuff because I didn't have like the time, I was very happy to know that she was thinking of me, you know, like out of all the people she could have thought of, she was thinking of me, like super great. She could have like, you know, just ignored me and just been like, you know, but like she when you get seen as like a fellow content creator in that sense, whatever platform you're on, it's super cool that other like people think of you.
Boost you up. No doubt about it.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's like you're one of us, you know, one of
Absolutely. Well, I want to say thank you so much for coming on and taking the time out of your day to spend an hour or more with me. I don't even have a timer on right now, but yeah, thank you so much for taking the time
to our podcast.
And really? Well, that's great.
No,
but thank you so much. I just want to say that. Thank you. This was awesome. I had a great time. You have such a great attitude and spirit. Keep that up. That's why people love your content. That's why I like your content. So keep it up. It's amazing. And I hope to actually meet you in person since we've gone to the last.
I know at least what 3-4 festivals now.
Yes, the last 3 festivals we were at. We never ran into each other or anything, and then we were at Excision Vegas, and I didn't know that till the day after. But
it's rough out
again,
there.
thank you so much for coming on and taking time out of your day to come on. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you inviting me for sure.
Well, thank you. This was awesome. I had a great time. Frisky Hug, everybody. Peace.